Is it a good idea to pair the high-end RX 7900 XTX graphics card with a 6-core Ryzen 5 7600X CPU? Let's find out. To experience the latest games today, I'm using the MSI G321CU 4K 144Hz monitor, but we'll also take a look at 1440p resolution performance. By the way, if you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them at the links in the description below. Let's start our testing with Space Marine 2. We are at native 4K resolution, TAA enabled, and Ultra Graphics preset selected. In this particular area, we are getting good FPS, smooth performance, well above 60, oh, sometimes even 80 plus. Ah, check it out, 69 FPS. Very nice. That's what we want to see. Both frame time as well as frame rate graphs are nice and flat, which means that the CPU is handling the game pretty well. There's no issues as of right now, but let's see if anything happens if we encounter a huge number of enemies. Oh, there we go. A lot more are coming now. Performance is nice, no issues whatsoever. So, playing this game using a 6-core CPU is fine. There we go. I love finishers in this game. One more. Oh. The brutality against aliens. Alright, it's fine at 4K, but let's see if we're going to get good experience at 1440p, or is there going to be a bottleneck? No, the performance is fine. Even though we have a lot of NPCs on the screen right now, the experience is beautiful, nice and smooth. Oh my god, this guy won't chill. Here, catch this. Yeah, we're seeing GPU utilization lacking right there. So that shows that even though the performance is nice and smooth, we're not utilizing our graphics card to its full potential. Haha. Right on. So if you are planning on using this CPU-GPU combo for 1440p gaming, then just be aware that this CPU is not fast enough to satisfy that GPU fully. But if you're looking for 60 plus FPS experience, that is not an issue at all, because check this out, we're getting well above 60. So we could lock the FPS at 60 and still enjoy smooth experience at 1440p. Black Myth Wukong is currently one of the most GPU demanding games available on the market. We are at 4K resolution, native, using TSR because FSR looks absolutely horrible in this game. You won't catch me using that. And to start with, I'm going to show you how very high graphics preset performs. Unfortunately, not very good. Unless you are into playing your games at 30 FPS, then you'll definitely want to adjust some of those settings. Normally, I would just use resolution upscaling, but you know, this is an AMD graphics card, DLSS is not available. DLSS in this particular game looks good, FSR horrible, so we are not going to use that. We're going to just lower graphics preset. On high, performance is acceptable, close to 50, but in this kind of game, you really want to have at least 60 plus FPS consistently to make sure that the latency is not too bad, because you'll want to dodge a lot of attacks in this game, and if latency is high, then you won't be able to dodge as effectively. As a result, we have to lower that graphics preset even further. Let's use medium. And now it is better. 60 plus FPS. Yeah, nice. Well, in terms of visual fidelity, not nice because we're using medium graphics quality preset. But take a look at that GPU load. It stays fully loaded, so the Ryzen 5 7600X is doing a good job in this particular game. By the way, you can forget about using full ray tracing if you have an AMD graphics card. The performance is so terrible that it's gonna be a slideshow even if you select graphics quality low and ray tracing low as well. You're gonna have something like 10 FPS that is absolutely unplayable. If you want to play Wukong with full ray tracing, then you have to get an NVIDIA graphics card. Now let's see how this combo will do at 1440p. Let's keep it at native resolution, TSR enabled, and let's try selecting very high preset. And the RX 7900 XTX barely gets close to 60 FPS. We are experiencing dips to like 56. Will it drop to 55? Let's see. Nope. One good thing is that the CPU is working fine in this game. Frame time graph is nice and flat. Frame rate is also flat. That's what we want to see. And the GPU load stays close to 99%. I call it fully loaded, so no issues with the CPU. I am not happy with those dips below 50, so we have to make adjustments. We'll have to use high graphics quality preset at 1440p. Using the RX 7900 XTX, imagine that, top tier GPUs cannot handle games at 1440p native in the second half of 2024. And this is exactly the kind of performance I'm looking for in this kind of game. Well above 60 FPS, nice responsive controls, low latency, and check it out, the GPU is still fully loaded, so the CPU is working fine. We could load it more if we wanted to. Let's see if anything will change if we enable frame generation. Now the GPU load is at around 90, so we're not taking full advantage of the GPU using these particular settings. Image fluidity is beautiful, well above 120 FPS, although those 1% lows are struggling because of those frame time spikes, but this is because this game is built in Unreal Engine 5 and this is just something that happens every now and then. You can see a stutter occurs. It's nothing to do with graphics cards or the CPU. It's just how this game runs. Of course, if you'll choose a very fast CPU, then those frame time spikes and stutters will not feel as bad, but they will still be there. Ghost of Tsushima is a fairly easy to run game for the GPU, so we only need to test the CPU capabilities in this one, because we're definitely getting above 60 FPS experience, but will we be able to achieve a consistent 120 plus FPS experience, or will that 6-core Ryzen 5 7600X get in the way of that? Just now you've been witnessing 4K native resolution performance using FSR3 as our anti-aliasing solution, no frame generation for now, and graphics quality is absolutely maxed out, with field of view maxed out as well. The performance is good, frame time and frame rate graphs are nice and flat, that's what we want to see. So if you are after a 60 plus FPS experience, then this CPU and GPU combo is very much capable of delivering that in Ghost of Tsushima. 69 FPS, nice, nice. GPU stays fully loaded, 99 to 100%, and the CPU is hovering at around 20 to 30%. Let's see if we can achieve a 120 FPS experience. Let's use AMD FSR quality mode, and see if that will help us get closer to that target. We're close. 119, 120, but it's not a consistent 120. We're getting dips to around 109 from time to time, but most importantly, the GPU stays fully loaded. And the CPU is actually working harder now. We're seeing it go above 40% utilization. I wouldn't mind running this game like this, but we have to press on and use frame generation on top of resolution upscaling to see if we can get a consistent 120 plus FPS experience. And indeed, right now, we're getting close to 200 FPS, although you see those frame time spikes and that results in uneven frame rates. Yeah, that's just not very nice. I mean, the image looks okay, but the fact that there are those little tiny stutters there, it's not great. Frame generation doesn't work very well in this game. At least it hasn't worked well for me across many GPUs. I'm talking about AMD GPUs, of course, as well as various CPUs from both AMD and Intel. That's why I prefer keeping that frame generation off, and if I need more FPS, just use resolution upscaling. Let's set it to balanced. And you can see right away, those spikes are gone. And the FPS stays at above 120. So this is the way to go, in my opinion, if you are after a 120 FPS experience. It is worth noting that the GPU load is currently fluctuating between something like 90+% to 100. So we are starting to see a bottleneck here with the CPU, even though it is not fully loaded, not even close. The CPU is just not fast enough to keep up with, delivering those frames. Next up, let's see what happens at native 1440p resolution without upscaling or frame generation. Graphics settings are still maxed out, field of view maxed out. And right away, we're starting to see that CPU bottleneck because our GPU is not at 100% at all times. Sometimes that utilization drops quite significantly. Oh, double-digit drop. It was 89% just then. But still, we're getting well above 100 FPS. This is a pleasant experience, and a smooth one at that as well. Of course, you have to keep in mind that there are outlier games out there that, will tank your performance no matter what GPU you have, just because your CPU is not strong enough. Cyberpunk is one of those games. As you can see, right now we are experiencing pretty smooth gameplay and no problems at all. 4K resolution, high graphics quality preset, native. However, it takes changing just one setting. If you increase crowd density to high, here's what happens. At the first glance, everything is fine. However, as soon as we start traversing the world, FPS drops and it's not as consistent anymore. Yeah, that is because crowds are denser and the CPU is working really hard to keep up with all the NPCs that are on the screen right now. And that results in some performance drops and then pleasantries like poor frame time pacing. Of course, it is easy to adjust that setting and just set it to medium, and you won't really know the difference. However, if you are all about zero compromise, because let's face it, with such a powerful GPU, you want to play the games at the highest graphics quality presets. But it just shows that if you don't have a powerful enough CPU, you'll have to make some compromises. Overall, the RX 7900 XTX paired with the Ryzen 5 7600X deliver a good experience if you are looking for 60 plus FPS. However, if you are looking for high refresh rate experiences, then this combo is not the way to go. This GPU is way too powerful for this CPU. I would pair this graphics card with the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D or at least 7700X. You'll find links to all the components I recommend in the description below, along with all the products featured in this video. Also, let me know in the comments what do you think about this GPU-CPU combo. And don't forget to reward my work with a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.